Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting on a Fan. The date is, and I'm going to check just to be sure, it is Tuesday, March 6th, 2018. I just remembered it's somebody's birthday today. Oh boy. And the time is approximately 9:13 p.m. And since 9 plus 1 plus 3 numerologically reduces to 13, blessed be the power of the witch. So in this video, I'm going to be working with February from Llewellyn's 2018 Tarot Calendar by Barbara Moore. This one does not have a spread, but it has a little bit about the Three of Pentacles card, and it has a symbol exploration, has a little blurb about journal writing or journaling, and a little blurb called Recipe for Great Creations, which I have been divinely guided to read first. And I promise you, my awesome audiovisual person is now going to behave. Isn't that right? And shouldn't you be looking that way? That way? Okay. So, I love this. It's so beautifully written. Recipe for Great... Oh, actually, I'm going to show you the card again. This is from the Steampunk Tarot. Those of you who love steampunk, if you have this deck, let me know how much you love it. In the comments, you know. Recipe for Great Creations. To make something great, something that is far more valuable than the sum of its parts, three important elements are required, assuming that the idea, courtesy of the suit of wands, already exists. The woman in red holds 3 tarot cards and represents the connection to spirit or intuition and brings fresh inspiration and creativity. The man holds schematics and has the plans and technical skills required to make a domed cathedral rise to the heavens and not collapse. The woman on the bench has the hands-on skills needed to make the parts and fit them together with grace and beauty. Many readers consider this a card of teamwork, working with others to make something larger than themselves. It can be that, but it can also be someone working alone, but tapping into all those parts of herself. Now, it's so funny because, you know, I think the most common spread for consulting the Sacred Tarot, or even an Oracle card deck as a 3-card spread. I think virtually everybody watching this video has seen past, present, future, with the first card being the past, second card being the present, third card being the future. But there's also Maiden, Mother, Crone, morning, noon, and evening, new moon, full moon, dark moon, and there are other variations on the theme. And of course, I want to point out that in January for this calendar, we have Trump 3, the Empress card. So because the card for February is the Three of Pentacles, and this is a school of thought that I've always resonated with, and that is that there is a how can I say this? There is a current of the Empress card energy in every 3 card of the minor arcana. Just like in every 2 card of the minor arcana, 2 of wands, 2 of cups, 2 of swords, and 2 of pentacles, there's also a thread or a current of Trump 2, the High Priestess card. It's a beautiful, I find it to be a very beautiful philosophy, symbology, explanation, whatever term you want to use, and it certainly is a great way to explore certain nuances, especially if you're using a pip deck. And even though the Steampunk Tarot is definitely not a pip deck, sometimes we do find pip decks, and sometimes we're drawn to them. I usually am not drawn to them, but there are some pip decks that have become more like, yeah, I want to keep using this. So if I ever falter on whatever intuitive meanings that I might receive from that pip card, I can always go with, okay, well, this is an ace, so this has the magician card's energy, or this is a seven of wands, so it has the energy of the chariot. Now, of course, wait a minute. I just heard David and Anthony, my primary psychic guide, saying, Robert, you're getting off topic. So, anyway, I'm going to go back on topic. So, I love that the symbol is the 3 cards in the girl's hand. So, traditionally, this card includes a clergy person. For many, clergy do not represent the presence of spirit or intuition. So, in this deck, the tarot itself is an apt symbol for divine connection. And, you know, it is called divination for a reason. You know, I love the definition of the word divination, to enter into a divine state. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've never ascribed to that belief that tarot cards are evil or they're the devil's playbook. Because remember, I'm a happily recovered Catholic. I don't ascribe to heaven, hell, and Judeo-Christian theology and Judeo-Christian symbology. So, as a witch, and specifically a moon magic witch, I ascribe to the belief that there is no heaven, there is no hell, there is something that we create for ourselves. I do like the thought of heaven, though. I really love the thought of heaven where I'm in the presence of all these celestial beings and I'm reconnecting with loved ones that are now deceased, and I'm playing with all these beautiful dogs and cute little cats that have died, and we're all happy and we're floating on clouds and floating on pillows on clouds, you know, and everything fits perfectly. So I love that. I love that concept. I love that symbology. It's a beautiful idea in my mind. And I must admit, I'm surprised nobody thought of that sooner. You know, like, well, let's substitute clergy with somebody who divines with the tarot in a tarot deck. Who'd have thunk it? Now, journaling. I gotta tell you, I do not journal enough. I do not spend enough time with my journals, and I have plenty of journals, believe me. We all have logical, intuitive, and skilled parts of ourselves. Logical, intuitive, skilled. Can you see that? Can they see the image? Logical, intuitive, skilled. Perfect. But we don't often identify with them equally. Do you consider yourself to be the most like the man, the woman in red, or the craftsperson? How did you come to that self-identity? Have you ever wished that you were one of the other types? Which type interests you the most? The least? Why? Think about a project that brought out all 3 of these approaches in you. Think about an upcoming project and how you can involve all 3 aspects of yourself. Now, in the interests of time, I'm going to answer 1 or 2 of these questions. So I must admit, I do seem to resonate most with the woman in red, for various reasons. Number 1, she's holding 3 tarot cards. And I must admit, I've always felt and I've always believed that a woman can only look gorgeous in red. I wish more women wore red more often. That's a personal thing for me. That's like a personal belief, because I think a woman can look attractive in any color, but it's really up to her, like what her style is, what she prefers, etc. But I love the gitana look that she has. Gitana is the Spanish word for gypsy woman. She has that gypsy look about her. She has the flower in her hair. She has the beautiful blouse. She has the long skirt, the long red skirt. I love the whole thing. And she's holding tarot cards. You know, I seem to most resonate with her because, you know what? I've always been drawn to the Romani, which is the correct and traditional name of the gypsy people. I've always been fascinated by it. I know so little about that culture. I know that it is a female-oriented, magically oriented culture, but other than that, I know so little about it. And every once in a while, I meet somebody who either is descended from Romani, or they have a connection to the Romani in other ways. You know, I have a great friend who is a professional psychic like me. She's also a professional actor, and she has portrayed gypsies in some of the motion pictures in which she starred. And then, of course, you know, other cultures have always fascinated me. So I feel most like, or I resonate most with the woman in red. I resonate least with the man. And it's because of what he's wearing and what he's doing. You know, even though I'm very intelligent and I'm very intuitive, I'm not a technical person. You know, I'm not somebody who has the skill to look at these schematics and know what I'm looking at. I think my awesome audiovisual person could look at schematics and know what he's looking at and understand what he's looking at, and you just nodded his head. So that's a skill that my awesome audiovisual person has. Do I resonate with the crafts person? Yes and no. Because I think, whenever I think of a craft, I think of something that can be made with one's hands. You know, and that's something that I wish I had that skill. You know, I wish that I had a skill where I could make something with my hands. And I don't think that I have that skill. Maybe I do, and I'm just disconnected from it at the time being. I'm going to read this also. This is the little blurb about the Three of Pentacles. It reads, the 3 and 8 of Pentacles are both about skill. Although the 8 is a higher number, it is the card of the apprentice, while 3 is the card of a master. The 3s represent completeness, and the 8s are about preparing to move ahead. Now, interestingly enough, when I've interpreted the tarot, I look at the Pentacles cards as having to do with money. With the exception of the 8 of Pentacles. For me, the 8 of Pentacles has nothing to do with money. Occasionally, depending upon what my psychic guides say and the surrounding cards, it might indicate something the client could learn to develop, like a skill that he or she or they could learn to receive more money. Like, let's say, developing a skill, acquiring a skill or an ability, or obtaining a body of knowledge and wisdom that they can now use in their career or in their position of employment, thereby ensuring they're going to receive a higher salary. But that's a very infrequent interpretation in my experience. Sometimes it happens, but sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on what my psychic guides tell me. But yeah, I find that that's something that does come up from time to time. But it's a very infrequent interpretation. Normally, I look at the 8 of Pentacles as higher education, continued education. What is it that you need to learn? What is it that you want to learn? What is it that you need to go back to learning? And sometimes it's not even about going back to school. Sometimes it's about resuming self-study. 3 of Pentacles for me, I almost always see as financial blessings. Like, the client has worked hard, the client has done the inner work, and here's a financial blessing from the universe, or from the goddesses, I would say. I really enjoy working with this calendar, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's giving me an opportunity to connect more deeply with the tarot, and I don't think that anybody could ever be too connected with the tarot. I feel that it is an ongoing thing. I do believe that I have achieved a level of mastery because I have been giving readings professionally for more than 20 years, and I have been giving readings and teaching people the tarot for almost as long. But I don't feel that I'm ever going to learn everything about the tarot. And, you know, it would be nice if I finally went to a tarot conference. It's funny because there is the Reader Studio, which is produced by the Tarot School in Manhattan, and I am long overdue to go to it. I wanted to go last year, and the plans fell through for a variety of reasons. So, and it's not like the location is inconvenient. I mean, it's on the other side of the Hudson River. And there is a part of me that wants to go, but it's usually in April. And I already have so many things scheduled in April that it's like I'm not going to be able to go. But I do want to go soon, if for no other reason, because it's a beautiful way to honor a dear friend of mine who was close friends with the co-founders of the Tarot School. Her name was Phyllis. She was a certified Voyager Tarot consultant. She was an author. She was an actor. She was so many wonderful creative things. And it's so funny because I think about her from time to time. She's been deceased almost 2 or 3 years. I don't remember if it's 2 or 3, but I found it fascinating that she died in the same month of her birthday, which was June. She was a June Gemini on the cusp of Cancer, and she's been on my mind lately, so I know I need to honor that, and I know I need to go to her grave soon. But in the meantime, YouTube, as always, I want to thank you for honoring who I am and what I do. If you have not already scheduled your reading or your private metaphysical class or your intuitive or your energy healing treatment, whether it is in person in the New York City area, by phone, or by Skype, I highly recommend you do so. I will be available until Saturday, March 10th, 2018. After that, I will not be available again until Monday, April 2nd, 2018. Again, short period of time, but for those people who want it sooner than later, this is the time to contact me. Also, if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I invite you to do so. And make sure that you click or tap the bell so that you can receive notifications every time I upload a video. If you have not received a notification in a while, chances are that your notification was deselected, because sometimes YouTube does that. I have no idea why. You'd have to take it up with them. I need to take it up with them. Like, find out, well, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And I'm not the only YouTube channel content creator who's had this experience. So I would recommend, for those of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel already, periodically make sure that your bell icon is clicked or tapped, just in case. Especially since I'm taking advantage of the time that I have to record and upload as many videos as possible, because once I have my surgery, I'm going to need about 2 to 3 weeks to fully recover, which means that I probably will not be recording or uploading any videos during that time. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing during that time, but I hopefully will have plenty of movement to be able to do it. I have a feeling I'll be watching a whole lot of videos, and I want to read too. I should be able to read, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. What can I say? I still have questions. But anyway, YouTube, thank you very much for honoring who I am and what I do. May the universe bless you and yours with joy, riches, and success, now and always. And a good evening to you.